morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Liliana Delgado. Welcome back to Lily's Lives, where we get exclusive behind-the-scenes insight from your greatest movie producers and actresses. Today, we're going to be interviewing Ana Gabriela Garcia on how her product challenges conventions, on how it represents social groups or issues.
Hey guys, I'm Anna. Hi Lily. I'm so thrilled to be with you guys today, sharing with you guys on how my film challenges conventions and how it represents social groups and issues. There are many things viewers may have missed when watching my film, which ironically is the beauty of filmmaking. Although the audience is all watching one film, they are making different interpretations in their head.
Thank you for such beautiful words, Anna.
Thank you. Being an actress and contributor to One Last Game was truly a roller coaster.
Alright, now, I know you get this a lot, but how do you think your product uses or challenges conventions, and how does it represent social groups or issues?
That's actually a great question. My product uses recognizable genre conventions from both fantasy and action. One key convention used is the presence of a supernatural object, the board game. The board game is a magical enchanted item in the film, which is a perfect fit for those genres. It overall acts as a distribution of reality because when Kelsey and I touched it, we were automatically transported into another world. This follows a common fantasy where an ordinary object becomes a gateway to another realm.
Amazing explanation. Did you use any other conventions?
Yes, of course. Fantasy convention used is the idea of an alternate world. When I am transported into the natural world, the forest does not follow the rules of the real world. The ambient sun lighting, the diegetic sounds, and the camera work of various low angles contribute greatly to the magical mise-en-scène, making the forest seem unpredictable and mythical.
So far, you have focused greatly on the fantasy aspect of your film, but I want to know more about the real good stuff, the action.
Well, in terms of action conventions, my film includes fast-paced physical movement and urgency to survive, and once the danger is produced, the caveman, the characters run quickly in an attempt to protect themselves. The chase sequence follows a typical action convention where characters must escape a threat using instinct and speed. This part aroused a lot of excitement for our audience, which is what we expected.
That's right, those action aspects are what really brought the adrenaline back to the film. Do you think it's important for films to challenge conventions of a drama?
I do. Our work reflects Steve Neal's idea that films need two things in order to survive. They need to follow the conventions and stereotypes of their genre to be identified with their genre, which is what we did in our film when we adhere to the conventions, like a mystical board game and an ominous, mysterious lighting. Steve Neal also states that a film must subvert typical conventions and stereotypes of their genre, which my film does by not being very logical. Overall, my film balances convention by using familiar genre elements, while challenging expectations through its cliffhanger ending, absence of a hero figure, and a minimal explanation of the supernatural.
Yes, I see exactly where you're coming from now that you begin to touch on stereotypes surrounding gender in action and fantasy films. Can you also explain this further?
Yes, of course. Traditionally, action and fantasy films have relied on the stereotype that female characters depend on male characters for protection against danger. In my film, when Kelsey and I were submerged into an alternate world, a board game, Zach went into the kitchen to get some snacks. When they were in the new world, I say, Zachary should be here to help us. This moment reflects a similar expectation within the genre. However, my film is able to subvert this stereotype as Kelsey and I are forced to start thinking of ways to adapt by problem solving and brainstorming.
I love that for our younger audience watching. Now time for a quirky icebreaker to have some fun. Anna, if you were a villain from any movie, who would you be?
Well, I don't like many villains from movies, but I would choose the Joker, and Heath Ledger is the best.
Of course, that's a very good answer and response. Now, are there any other specific examples you can give that gave inspiration to your film?
Yes, the films that inspired my group and I the most were Jumanji, Aladdin, and Scream. The main film my group was inspired by was Jumanji. Our film embodies the same genre of fantasy and adventure. Of course, we also follow the same plot, where the main characters are taken into the board game. Aladdin is similar to our film because we both center on supernatural elements enchanted objects, and a world where laws and reality are routinely suspended. Finally, the last film, Scream, is more horror, including the components of jump scares and ominous lighting that is also present in our film.
Amazing. I love all of those films, which explain why watching your film was very captivating for me. Now, can you be extra specific to the scenes in your film and how the inspirations are integrated in your film?
Yes, in the scene where Anna and Kelsey fall into the board game mirrors Jumanji. In the same scene, Anna and Kelsey are embodied by a magical yellow light, similar to the magical elements in Aladdin. And finally, throughout my film, there are comedic comments, just like Scream. In Scream, instead of straightforward drama, the audience anticipates an examination of life's bleakest moments through a dark comedy lens.
Watching your movie and hearing your POV has been so surreal. The amount of detail and effort that was put into your film is so evident. Good job. Would you like to say any final words to the viewers today?
First, I would like to say thank you to Lily, and I would like to say thank you to all of you for all of your support in my debut as an actress. And would like to encourage all of you guys to watch my next movie coming out this fall.
Perfect. Thank you guys for watching Lily's Lives. I'll see you again next week.